Imagine fishing for hours and finally getting a bite. You're hoping to catch an amazing water Pokemon, but instead, you snag some random kid and his poor Pikachu. Without thinking twice, you scold the kid for not taking care of his Pokemon. So what does he do? He steals your bike. What do you think? Was that a good hook? Well, if not, here's another. Ash Ketchum just borrows Misty's bike so he could rush Pikachu to the Pokemon Center. However, the Spearows are too adamant at getting revenge on Ash, so Pikachu zaps the whole flock, frying Misty's bike in the process. Little do we know that the wreckage of this bike is gonna lead to one of the best friendships in the Pokemon anime. No, scratch that, the history of anime period. Misty follows Ash all the way to Radiant City, demanding that he pays her back for crispifying her bike. As we all know, bikes cost hella money, so Ash couldn't just pay it back right away. Misty is very persistent about her bike that she's willing to traverse the dangers of Radiant Forest, a forest known for being home to some of the nastiest bug-type Pokemon.
Bugs are one of the 3 most disgusting things in the world! Aside from you, what are the other disgusting things?
When Ash catches a Caterpie, Misty is freaked out whenever the cute little bug goes near her. Oftentimes, she's so frightened by Caterpie that she says mean things that hurt its feelings. Throughout Viridian Forest, Misty would slowly warm up the Caterpie, and when it evolves all the way into Butterfree, Misty is just in awe of its beauty. Misty and Ash soon arrive at Pewter City, where Ash instantly loses his very first gym battle. Misty offers Ash to use her Pokemon, but he's insistent on super training his Pokemon and beating Brock fair and square. Misty watches Ash's rematch against Brock where the sprinklers go off and Ash forfeits the battle before defeating Onyx. In the end, Brock awards Ash the Boulder Badge for his kindness, and he joins Ash as he takes on the gym challenge. Well, Misty's there too as she tags along Ash and Brock uninvited using her unpaid bike as an excuse. Ash then decides to go to Cerulean City for his next badge, but Misty begs them not to go to that city and tries her best to convince them that Cerulean City is a terrible place. Ash doesn't listen to her and still challenges the Cerulean Gym. He learns that the Cerulean Gym leaders are the world famous 3 sensational sisters. The sisters don't want to battle Ash because they've already been defeated by the 3 other trainers from Pallet Town, and all they have left is a Goldeen. So Daisy just hands Ash a badge for free. But just before he could take it, Misty shows up.
Alright, Daisy, if you don't want to battle him, I will.
Turns out Misty is the 4th Cerulean sensational sister.
I'm the 4th sensational sister.
There are only 3 sensational sisters and 1 runt.
And she's willing to battle Ash and defend the Cascade badge. You see, Misty left her hometown to become a better Pokemon trainer and prove herself to her sisters. That's why she didn't want to come back. The battle starts with Misty sending out Staryu as Ash decides to use Pikachu since electric beats water. However, Pikachu refuses to battle Misty because she's his friend, so Ash opts for Butterfree instead. Butterfree inflicts Staryu with Stun Spore and Sleep Powder, but it just washes it off in the water, so maybe it has natural cure. Staryu manages to tackle Butterfree into the water, but Ash returns it and sends out Pidgeotto. Misty then sends out her ace, Starmie. Pidgeotto slams Starmie to the wall with its gust, almost depleting all of its HP, but Team Rocket interrupts the battle and tries to steal all the water from the gym. Good thing Ash and Pikachu follow Team Rocket's plans, and as thanks for saving the gym, Daisy hands Ash the Cascade badge against Misty's will. Misty, Ash, and Brock would go on to travel the Kanto region and become one of the most iconic trios in all of anime. During the early days, Misty would always berate Ash for being a stupid trainer making stupid decisions. They'd always fight about the pettiest things like normal siblings do.
You didn't earn those badges. You got them just because Brock and my sister felt sorry for you. I did too.
Chill out, guys.
Thankfully, Brock is there to keep things under control. And being a more experienced trainer than Ash, Misty would usually serve as a sort of coach during his battles, and her advice would sometimes earn him some victories.
Wait, Ash! Cloyster should be losing hit points too! Just keep hammering away, Kingler!
Oh no!
Misty is very protective of her friends, and she wouldn't let anyone belittle them. She's very intolerant towards bullies, as shown when she battles Giselle to put her in her place. But sadly, Misty loses in a humiliating fashion, showing that she's got a long way to go herself if she wants to become a better Pokemon trainer. Misty is also an effective leader if she chooses to be. When the St. Anne capsizes, trapping the gang and Team Rocket inside, Misty takes a leadership position in finding ways to escape the ship and establishing a truce among Ash, Brock, Jessie, and James. She uses her water Pokemon and knowledge on ships to find a way out of St. Anne and lead everyone to safety. Misty would go on to catch a cute horsey who enjoys swimming in an episode where Tentacle and Tentacruel take over a city, which by the way are some of her favorite Pokemon and she thinks they're cute. She also later catches everyone's favorite Psyduck with a permanent headache after she accidentally trips over a rock. Later on, Ash finds this mysterious Pokemon egg. Brock has been nurturing and taking care of it, but one day Team Rocket decides to steal the egg for themselves. In a chaotic back and forth of trying to take the egg, it suddenly hatches in the hands of Misty, and now it begs the question, who gets to keep Togepi? Ash found it, Brock took care of it, Meowth had a short but lasting bond with it, and Misty, well, Misty claims Togepi likes her the most despite doing nothing to raise it. So everybody agrees to battle in a tournament and the winner takes Togepi. Meowth defeats Brock's Onix. Next is Ash's Bulbasaur versus Misty's Psyduck, who gets out of its Pokeball at the wrong time. Bulbasaur tickles Psyduck, causing it to forfeit, losing Misty the battle. Ash and Pikachu would go on to beat Meowth in the finals, but Togepi seems to not want to go with Ash. Misty was the first person that Togepi saw, and he thinks of her as his mother, so Togepi chooses Misty to be its trainer, and that's that. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to also check out my other videos in my Complete History series. We tackle the entire story of various trainers and Pokemon throughout their time in the show. In this video, we are breaking down the complete history of Misty, the original female protagonist of the Pokemon anime. So, if you like Pokemon, make sure to subscribe. It's finally every girl's favorite holiday, the Princess Festival, where the women rule and the men would have to do everything women tell them to do.
How's that different from any other day of the year?
During the Princess Festival, every store becomes a shopping paradise with insane discounts for women. But as for men, they just have to pay for everything and carry all the bags. It's an event done to give honor and respect to the amazing women of the Pokemon world. Speaking of amazing women in the Pokemon world, I decided to create this video as a tribute to the one and only Rachel Lillies, who passed away last month. Rachel Lillies was a legendary voice actress, and she was responsible for giving life to many of our favorite characters, most notable for Misty and Jessie. As someone who grew up watching the anime since 1997, I can truly say that she was there for me when I was growing up. Thank you for the memories, and may she rest in peace. Princess vs. Princess is the episode that truly showcases Rachel Lillis' performance as a voice actress.
Not you again!
The little twerp. Let go of it, kid.
You let go! I saw it first!
It wouldn't look good on you. It's for someone who has a sense of style.
Well, it can't be for you then!
The main event of the day is the Queen of the Princess Festival contest. The winner of this contest will win a one-of-a-kind collection of Pokemon Princess dolls. Oh, and a picture with this guy. As a surprise to everyone, the contest is actually a Pokemon battle. Misty knows that her team of Staryu, Starmie, Goldeen, Horsea, Psyduck, and Togepi wouldn't be able to win her the contest, so she asked if she could borrow some of Ash and Brock's Pokemon. Like, totally had no confidence in her team whatsoever, even though that was her gym leader team. Pikachu instantly lends Misty a helping hand, and she also manages to borrow Bulbasaur and Vulpix. This victory would also mean so much to Misty because as kids, her sisters each got their own princess dolls, while Misty was just given the hand-me-downs. Her inner child seeks to win this tournament so that she could have a princess doll set of her own. Pikachu, Bulbasaur, and Vulpix all sweep their battles, as Misty quickly finds herself in the finals, where she battles Jessie, who also dominated her side of the bracket. Pikachu one-shots Arbok, Weezing, and Meowth, causing Jessie to send in her last Pokemon, Lickitung. This monster takes out Pikachu with its paralyzing Lick Attack, and does the same with Bulbasaur and Vulpix. Misty is left with one Pokemon as she calls for Staryu, but it's Psyduck who shows up. This accident turns out to be a fluke, as Psyduck seems to be unaffected by Lickitung's lick. All it does is cause Psyduck to have a headache, activating its confusion and winning Misty the competition. Misty finally has her own doll set, and we can say that a part of her childhood issues have been resolved. But we definitely still got more trauma to cover. And hey, this was the first 4-on-4 battle in the anime. At least I'm pretty sure it was. Later on, Misty's Horsea gets sick and they realize that it needs to get a bigger pool to swim in. So she decides to visit Cerulean City and let Horsea swim in their enormous pool. Coincidentally, Misty's sisters have also been planning an underwater show that features a magical mermaid. They trick her into playing the part of the magical mermaid.
We really need you.
I'll do it.
We got her!
We could always get our baby sister to do whatever we wanted.
This is like a total flashback.
And it is here where we get to see Misty's phenomenal skills as a swimmer and actress. During the play, Team Rocket steals the roles of Violet and Lily as the villains of the show. Misty and Ash's water Pokemon do their best to stop Team Rocket. Unbeknownst to the audience, this battle is not part of the play. It's now a real battle. Cerulean Gym's own Seal steps up to the plate and evolves to defend the gym. Thanks to Ash, Misty, Brock, and even Team Rocket, the show has become a huge hit. Misty now has to continue her journey, so Violet and Lily will have to take turns playing the Magical Mermaid. Additionally, the gym needs more Pokemon for the show, so Misty decides to leave Horsea behind, and also Starmie, who's supposed to be her ace Pokemon in the games. Misty would journey with Ash and Brock all the way through the Indigo Plateau, even serving as one of the torch runners of this prestigious Kanto League. Misty's role in the league is to coach Ash on his battle strats and make sure that he keeps his cool and doesn't get too cocky. She's such a protective friend to Ash that when Team Rocket sabotages Ash's match with Richie, Misty is more than ready to throw hands with Richie, thinking he's behind all these shenanigans. When Ash loses the match, Misty is the first one to approach Ash, trying to comfort him and cheer him up. Though, let's just say it did not end as well as she hoped.
I'm just trying to help you, Ash.
Well, I don't want your help.
You big baby.
Just get out.
Pika, pika.
After the league, Misty continues to follow Ash and Brock, though she seems to have already forgotten about the bike incident. She just likes traveling with them. She joins them on their trip to the Orange Islands, a perfect location for someone who loves the waters. When Brock temporarily leaves the group, Tracy joins the gang and Misty quickly develops a bond with him. During Ash's gym battles, Misty faces some challenges with the male gym leaders. Danny is a little flirtatious with her, and she also seems to have a little bit of a crush on him. But nothing really comes after that. However, with Rudy, Misty's will is truly tested. After rescuing her sister, Rudy develops some romantic feelings with Misty to the point of courting her and asking her to stay with him in the gym. This makes Misty contemplate on whether to accept Rudy's proposal or continue her adventures with Ash and Tracy. Of course, it's a no-brainer for Misty as she vocalizes her decision during the battlefield, motivating Ash to bring out the best in Squirtle to defeat Rudy and his Starmie. Poor Starmie can't catch a break. Not only did this Starmie lose, but Misty Starmie never won a match on screen ever. Well, actually, no Starmie in the anime has ever won a battle. It's a tough world out there for Starmie. In the Orange Islands, Misty meets her match in the form of Marina, a water Pokemon trainer who loves water Pokemon just as much as she does. They are total nerds when it comes to water Pokemon, and so they decide to have a battle. During the battle, Misty notices a Golduck inside her bag, leading her to believe that her Psyduck has evolved. Misty and Golduck work amazingly well as a team, saving everyone from Team Rocket and even defeating Marina and her Starmie in a battle. Turns out, Psyduck has been resting in its Pokeball all this time, and that Golduck is just a wild Pokemon who wants to impress girls.
It's just a Pokemon version of Brock.
Nonetheless, it only proves Misty's greatness as a Pokemon trainer, being able to command the fully evolved wild Pokemon with such finesse. Behind her fierce and sassy persona, Misty is truly a caring and empathetic friend. When Ash and Tracy got sick from inhaling Vileplume's Stun Spore, Misty goes out of her way to search for Salveo weed as she could boil it and have them drink it. She even leaves some of the Salveo weed for Jessie despite Team Rocket's efforts of sabotaging her. Her reward for this act of kindness is this Poliwag, whom she met along the way and has grown to like her and decides to follow her. After the Orange League, Tracy chooses to stay with Professor Oak. Meanwhile, Brock rejoins Misty and Ash as they traverse the lands of the Johto region. Here, Misty is keen on catching this cute and jolly Totodile. However, she and Ash throw their lure balls at the same time. Totodile is captured, but the question is, by who? So, Misty and Ash decide to battle for ownership of Totodile. This is the second time that they're battling over the ownership of a Pokemon, by the way. First round, Ash sends out Pikachu, but Misty geniusly brings out her secret weapon, Togepi. Pikachu could never hurt his little brother, so he forfeits, giving Misty the win. This is also the second time that Pikachu refuses to battle against Misty. Next is Staryu vs Chikorita. Chikorita whips Staryu down to the ground, evening out the score. Finally, it's Poliwag vs Bulbasaur. It's quite an intense match that leads to Poliwag evolving, but it's still Bulbasaur who clinches the win. Misty may have lost the battle on the ownership of Totodile, but she doesn't come out empty-handed because now she's got a powerful Poliwhirl in her arsenal. In Johto, Misty competes in a number of competitions, most notably the Seeking catching competition and the World Cup. In the Seeking catching competition, trainers compete to catch the heaviest Seeking. Here, Misty shows off her skills in driving a boat and also fishing. Let's not forget, Misty makes her own special lures. She encounters Andreas, a competitor who likes insulting Misty and her Poliwhirl. By the end of the competition, the Seeking that Misty and Andreas caught are the same weight, so the winner is now decided by a Pokemon battle. In a satisfying underdog victory, Misty's Poliwhirl water guns Andreas' Poliwrath to win the competition, earning Misty a huge trophy and a bunch of chocolates, which she shared with her friends and their families. Andreas soon apologizes and congratulates Misty on her win, so all's well that ends well. As the group journeys throughout the World Islands, Misty catches a Corsola and goes on to join the World Cup along with Ash. In the first round, Misty and her Corsola defeat Harrison. No, not this Harrison and his Quillfish. In the second round, Misty is matched up against none other than Ash. Poliwhirl beats Ash's Totodile as he gets revenge killed by Kingler. Misty's about to send out her Corsola, but it's Psyduck who comes out of its Pokeball for the third time in this video. Luckily for Misty, Kingler uses the Vice Grip on Psyduck's head, triggering a headache and unleashing a powerful confusion, which is more than enough to win Misty the battle. In the next round, however, Misty faces a strong opponent in Trinity. Poliwhirl is no match for Trinity's Gyarados, a Pokemon Misty is super terrified of. Corsola then one-shots Gyarados with Spike Cannon, but Trinity's Chinchou snatches the victory with their confusion strats. Misty may have not won the competition, but it is here where her dream of becoming a water Pokemon master is highlighted, as her love for water Pokemon has further deepened after interacting with all these amazing people and Pokemon in the World Cup. Next, Misty and the gang pass by the Coastline Gym, an unofficial underwater gym established by Dorian, the gym leader. It turns out that this guy is a huge fan of the 3 Cerulean Sensational Sisters, and dreams of creating a gym that's just like the Cerulean Gym. Being the self-proclaimed #1 fans of water Pokemon, Misty and Dorian engage in an underwater Pokemon battle. Dorian's Quillfish takes Goldeen down, literally, then Corsola gets the win after a powerful tackle against Mantine. Unfortunately, the battle never finishes because Team Rocket interrupts it midway, but in the end, Dorian points out that Misty would probably win the battle if she uses Psyduck, and that she's every bit as good as her sisters. Misty would spend her final days in Johto cheering for Ash in the Johto League, as well as Harrison. Thanks, Misty. After the Silver Conference, Misty, Ash, and Brock would finally return to Viridian City, where they would learn that the previous Nurse Joy had already repaired her bike. Also, her sisters called that they are going on a world tour, so they need Misty to stay in the gym for the time being. Ash is happy for Misty that since her bike is repaired, she can now easily go back to Cerulean Gym. However, this saddens and angers Misty. She feels like Ash doesn't even care about her leaving the group. Turns out the electrocuted bike was just Misty's excuse to travel with Ash all this time. She genuinely enjoyed journeying with him throughout Kanto, Orange Islands, and Johto. Misty walks away, but is soon faced by the invincible Pokemon Brothers, a trio of Pokemon gangsters. Misty couldn't face them all alone, so Ash and Brock join on their final triple battle as a group. As the sun sets out on the horizon, so does Misty's time in the anime. She gives Ash a handkerchief to help carry Brock's packed lunch for him. Misty then fades into the horizons as she travels back to Cerulean City, and as for the handkerchief, it would later be helpful in protecting Pikachu from inhaling smoke when Team Rocket messes with Ash. Back at Cerulean City, Misty is faced with the trouble of a rampaging Gyarados in the gym. This terrifies Misty because, as we know, she has a phobia of Gyarados. You see, as a kid, Misty accidentally crawled into the mouth of a Gyarados. This traumatic experience led her to shudder in the presence of Gyarados. But when the invincible Pokemon Brothers threaten to take over the Cerulean Gym, Misty defends the gym by battling them and protecting Gyarados from their attacks. Misty gets hurt in the process, but her act of kindness helps Gyarados' heart as the Sea Serpent rescues Misty and blasts the brothers off. Misty's phobia of Gyarados has withered away, as Gyarados happily agrees to be captured by Misty. Misty's bravery and skills allow her to pass the gym inspection performed by Nurse Joy, who's been observing her all this time. Misty would continue to hone her skills as a water Pokemon trainer by defending the Cerulean Gym against different kinds of trainers. On one occasion, she even battled Sakura, the youngest of the Ekerti Kimono sisters. Misty had a nice bond with Sakura back in Johto since they're both the youngest amongst a bunch of sisters. It's actually kind of a trend that Misty quickly bonds with other children who are the youngest in the family, such as Mikey from the Eevee brothers and later on with Max. Anyways, Sakura's Espeon bests Misty's Corsola, and so Misty awards Sakura the Cascade Badge, which she, by the way, crafted herself. Misty then returns to the Advanced Generation Saga, where she attends a convention for Togepi trainers in the Mirage Kingdom. In another dimension exists the Togepi Paradise, and it is said that the Mirage Kingdom and the Togepi Paradise constantly help each other. When the Togepi Paradise is under attack, Misty's Togepi evolves into Togetic and defends it from the evildoers. However, Misty's Togetic wishes to stay in the Paradise to make sure that the other Togepi are safe and secure. This means that Misty literally only returned just to release her cute little Togepi. I'm sure that most of us like to pretend that these couple of episodes never existed. Misty would later make an appearance watching Ash's battles in the Hoenn League, and she would temporarily join the Hoenn gang right before Ash begins the Battle Frontier Challenge. This time with Azurill as her baby Pokemon given to her by Tracy, but you will never be Togepi. At one point, Misty and Max are isolated from the rest of the group, so they engage in a heart-to-heart talk, and Misty even teaches Max that they both should continue to help their older sisters when they think that they need it or not, and Max really puts to heart Misty's words. Right before Ash's final battle with Brandon, Misty sends him her special lure as a good luck charm. This lure would also make an appearance in the Diamond and Pearl saga. In Black and White, Misty only appears through flashbacks. XY is the only saga where Misty is never directly referenced, though I'm sure her name was widely talked about in the Pokemon community, given the amount of ship wars that happened during that era. In Sun and Moon, though, she makes two major appearances. First is when the Alola gang visits Kanto. Here, Misty and Brock teach him about the regional forms of Kanto in general. Afterwards, Misty invites everyone to the Cerulean Gym, where Ash battles Misty in one of the best 1v1 battles in the entire anime. It's an incredibly hype battle between Pikachu and Mega Gyarados, and although Gyarados puts up an amazing fight, it's Pikachu who comes out on top. Later, Misty and Brock would visit Alola, and she spends a relaxing day on Treasure Islands, going Mantine surfing, playing with the Pokemon, and forming a nice connection with Lana, her fellow water Pokemon trainer, whom she's kept contact with since the Alola gang visited Kanto. Finally, in Pokemon Journeys, legend has that Misty is the one driving this ship that separates Ash from Serena. Later, we see Misty and Psyduck watching Ash's final battles with Leon, showing that Misty is always there in spirit during Ash's most important battles. We even see that Go visits her in the Cerulean Gym. But that isn't the end of Misty of the Pokemon anime, because at the end of Pokemon Journeys, the writers decided to take fans on a trip down memory lane and have Misty, Ash, and Brock travel together one final time. It begins with Misty and Ash facing off to see who keeps the Clauncher that they both want to catch. This is now the third time that they're battling over a Pokemon. It's tied 1-1 though, so let's see who gets to keep it this time. This was very reminiscent of the Totodile duel back in the day. This time though, Misty's Polydot redeems itself by defeating Ash's Corphish and the 2-1 Pokemon counter in Misty's favor. With that, Misty takes ownership of Clauncher and also has the honor of being the first and only person to defeat the recently crowned World Monarch in a battle. Now that Misty no longer has the bike incident to use as an excuse to travel with Ash, she claims that she should travel with Ash so that Clauncher can still hang with Ash's Corphish. Misty's string of episodes of Pokemon Journeys may not be the most story driven, but it gave us lots of moments that call back to previous episodes. Those episodes were heartwarming and nostalgic to say the least. In the end, Misty returns to Cerulean City to continue her duties as a gym leader, still aiming to become a water Pokemon master and the best gym leader that she can be. And that's it for Misty's history. Misty will always find a special place in everyone's hearts, being one of the first people who introduced us to this amazing franchise called Pokemon. Her storyline showcased her character's complexity. She's intelligent, caring, tough, competitive, talented, and so much more. Misty raised a whole generation of children, many of which have remained to be fans to this very day, like me. And that wouldn't be possible without the marvelous performance of Rachel Lillies, who gave life to this sensational character. She will always be remembered in our hearts. Thank you all so much for watching Misty's Complete History, but as always, it's been your boy LUAP, and I'm out. Peace.